What's up, everybody? Welcome to Super Retro, a nostalgic podcast about retro gaming, TV and film, pop culture, music, anything dope from the 80s and 90s. I'm your host, Tuck. That's your host, Will. What's up, y'all? Thank you for joining us. Got a jam-packed show for you guys. I went a little crazy with my notes over here this time, looking like the Dead Sea Scrolls.
They do.
Because we had to repurpose our whiteboard that we normally use for our Tecmo Super Bowl tournament.
Man, that tournament was awesome.
The tournament, guys. We did a Tecmo Super Bowl tournament at Rec Bar.
Our first retro tournament.
Our first of many retro tournaments, and the turnout was amazing.
It was awesome.
The people that we met were amazing.
Oh, everybody was our people.
Yo, shout out to Bada Bing. Shout out to Bada Bing. He's a TikTok follower. He came out. His name's Bada Bing. That dude was cool, man.
Everybody, dude. Like I told my buddy, he was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry I didn't get to come." I was like, "Dude, it was all of like our people.
Yeah.
Like everyone there was so cool. Like there was no like dickheads. Like it was a fun tournament. Like everyone had a great time. There was fans. Like people watching. Like the setup couldn't have been better. Like we were nervous. Remember, like about how it was gonna like all play out with the setup.
Oh yeah.
And it literally couldn't have been better.
Oh yeah.
The stations.
Yep.
The area, the tables for the fans to watch. Like nothing about it could have been better.
That's right. It literally was perfect.
Me and Tuck wanted to do another tournament this week.
I would do them every weekend.
When it ended, we were like, damn.
Yeah, it only lasted about 3.5 hours, maybe 3. And yeah, when it was as it was nearing a close, I was like, damn, man, this sucks that it's already over. This was so fun.
Bro, it was so good.
Our boy Andy Shelby made it into the
finals, bro.
into the finals, and we got to shout out the champion, Derek Kurtz. Congratulations, bro. He won $250 in the trophy.
17-10.
Yeah, but
championship game. What a tournament.
Man, there was just so many cool people there. I like the guy that just showed up. You know, he saw like the ads or something.
He made it pretty far.
Yeah, he did pretty good. That dude was cool, man. I wish I could remember his name. But
I liked the everybody that when you got sent out of the tournament, they would sit and just watch now.
Literally, I'm not sure, maybe 1 or 2 people left after they were eliminated from the tournament.
But not many. Everyone stayed.
Everyone stayed. They wanted to see who won.
The championship was a real intense event. Like the fans were talking shit. Like it was so fun.
Yeah, everyone wanted to see who won.
Like people were like, go for 2. You can't go for 2. It's so funny.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is I saw like I don't know if you saw. I think I told you, but some little kids. I don't know if a rec bar is like a barcade where kids are running around with tokens playing old school arcade games. Well, 2 kids sat down and were like, where do we put the quarters? And I was like, this is a tournament, man. Yeah. And he goes, so y'all like brought these?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we brought all these Nintendos and TVs. He was like, oh. It was so funny, dude.
I saw as we started using less of the stations, I saw kids were sitting down playing. I thought it was great.
Let them play.
Hell yeah, dude. Just play, figure, discover it.
So cool, dude.
But anyway, yeah. So shout out to everybody that came to the tournament, man. You made our day for real.
Yeah, and now you let us know that it is definitely possible to run successful retro tournaments. Yeah. And now we're already gearing up for NBA jams. Yeah,
we're gonna do NBA Jam next. But you know what I was thinking? Shit, man, we might be able to do them more often than we actually are doing them. But we'll figure that out. All right. You ready?
Let's delve in.
Let's get right into the show, y'all. Shout out to all the just all you guys, man. Shout out to all the TikTok followers, Instagram followers. We love you guys.
The podcast listeners, the whole podcast.
Yeah, and the podcast is the audio podcast is really starting to take off. People are listening. It's awesome. I check the downloads daily, and it's going.
We appreciate you listening to the whole bullshit we talk about.
The whole long form.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all. It's going good. All right, y'all. So let's get right into this, man. So back in the day, at the turn, just after Y2K, after 2000, all that shit, LimeWire. Do y'all remember LimeWire? Come on, man. LimeWire. It was a peer-to-peer file sharing software.
Yeah, it's not illegal because we're just sharing it.
Yeah, we're just sharing.
I'm just sharing a song with Tuck. He's just at home.
Yeah, and
That's how we got away with it.
this was LimeWire was a repository of millions of pirated movies,
Everything, bro.
games, music,
Anything that could be digitized.
software. Bro,
You get programs.
dude, Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
I got all my audio software that I used back in the day from LimeWire, hands down.
You know what I say right now, like what was awesome about it? It was like a lot of these kind of things are hard to use. But LimeWire was fucking easy to use, bro.
Super easy.
I knew nothing. Like I was not a fucking hacker. I was not in the file. Like, and I was over here. I'm telling you, like when you told me about LimeWire, I was like, I was so deep in the LimeWire, dude. I was making mixtapes and like giving them to like hundreds of people.
Oh hell
like
yeah!
I had my own covers, my own stamp. Like you know how you put like labels on the CD.
Yeah.
I printed my own labels with Airwalk Studios.
Oh my god!
And because my last name's Walk, so it's so stupid. Like I was literally making fucking like bootleg albums of just my shit.
Yeah, stuff you thought bopped.
Yeah, 100%. And like when the I remember this time the new Outkast leaked like 6 months before it was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
So that whole 6 months we was bopping the new Outkast.
I forgot about that. See, that's why I love having these conversations, because I forgot all about leaks.
You'd have it, and that was the hot shit on there.
Yeah.
Like nobody cared really too much about the old stuff.
Yeah.
You'd have your greatest hits albums.
Yeah.
But some shit would come out and you'd be like, oh my God, that's not even out yet.
Yeah, you'd get the shit like weeks to months in advance.
Because you know how it is in the artist in the industry.
Yeah. People had copies of that shit.
Anyone had a copy. All it took was that one person to boop.
Yeah, I'd be like, well,
He gave me
go ahead and upload that to LimeWire.
It'll say like demo, and they're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I remember that, man.
Yeah, that was huge for me. Is getting shit way before it came out.
Movies were the same way.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. I would watch movies before they even got to the movie theater.
But here's the thing: anybody and everybody could upload to LimeWire, which basically made it the Wild Wild West.
Oh, it was.
Bro, if you weren't careful, your shit would get bricked up. You'd have a paperweight for a computer.
Yeah, you'd have to delete that shit quick and then re-download it.
Yep.
And a lot of times you'd get it out, like you sit there be making a mixtape and you'd be like, all right, you'd get like a fucking Tupac song and you'd play it and it'd be like Whitney Houston.
Yeah, it'd
you
be
know
wrong.
what I mean? Because if they labeled it, you're downloading it.
Yeah, and you could also you could see the fake files by the size of the file. You know what I mean? If it was an MP3, you knew it had to be a few megabytes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 megabytes. If it was software, a few hundred megabytes, maybe even a gig. If it was a movie, you knew it was going to be a gig.
If it didn't look right.
If it had if it was small, you knew that shit was suspect.
What's that called when you get Rick rolled?
Yeah, it's Rick rolled.
Yeah, that's what you get on that.
Yeah.
You'd sit there and be like, yes. Oh, shit, that is not it.
Yep.
That's Phil Collins.
Basically, there was a point when you had like a 50-50 chance of spreading viruses all through your shit.
100%.
I mean, kids all across the country
but
destroyed
it did
their
not
PCs. Oh, it didn't. I didn't care. I took the chance every time.
Yeah, it was like, nah, I didn't put the condom on, so to speak.
Yeah, and
like,
then
I was like, I'm still gonna steal this stuff.
100%.
And it did feel like stealing.
It really did. Yeah, it didn't feel right, but you know what? Back then, again,
like
young, early 20s, late teens, broke. Let me get that.
And it's like, I think it's because we spent so many years buying albums. Like I know you did as much as I would buy shit albums, CD. I'd buy cassettes, CDs,
singles.
Like I'd go into the malls and go into the record stores and buy CDs and like constantly, like months after months after year after year. And then when this came out, I felt like, oh my God, everything's mine.
That's right.
Like I literally would sit there all night in front of a screen making fucking CDs, CDs, this.
And it LimeWire really took off when Napster went out of business in 2001 when Napster was shut down because of a lawsuit that they faced. The record companies came after Napster. And the thing about Napster is they were only music.
Yeah.
They were just music. And I used Napster for just a little stretch, but...
Me too. I was on there.
But it seemed like immediately after it got popular, it got shut down, and it was still up, and none of it would work.
Yep.
You would go to try to download shit, and it wouldn't work. It was all just nothing was working.
Yeah, LimeWire seen the door open and just flooded it.
Yeah, in LimeWire you could get everything, and I made a note that LimeWire was who Napster thought they were. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
But I think if Napster laid the groundwork,
for sure, they laid the foundation.
they were like, look what you can do.
But LimeWire felt like some real vigilante shit. You know what I mean? Like some, Robin Hood type shit. Helping out the small guy.
It literally was Robin Hood. It was like we were finally getting the music we wanted.
Yeah, and the software
for free
and everything that we couldn't afford.
It was great.
Go on ahead and let me get that.
It was great.
All right, y'all. Let's talk about 1998's Big Lebowski. Fantastic, independent crime comedy. That's a good genre, crime comedy.
Dude, it's like it's one of those movies that you could watch 1,000 times and find something funny about it that you didn't before.
So quotable.
I mean, it's my most quotable movie ever.
Such a quotable film, and we'll get into some quotes here in a minute. It was directed and co-written by Joel Coen.
Coen brothers.
Yeah, and with his brother Ethan. They've gone on to do
Fargo, all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of dope shit. Stars Jeff Bridges as the one and only
dude, bro.
Jeffrey the Dude Lebowski. And that name, that Lebowski name, ends up getting him into some shit.
Yeah, it does.
And the cast in this movie
is fucking point, bro. He couldn't be on point more than this.
It's so damn good. The cast is amazing. Dude,
John Goodman. This is probably his best role ever.
John Goodman, bro.
I don't think he's had a bad role in his career.
I don't, and I know he gets hella respect. People
he does,
love
100%.
But I feel like he still doesn't get what he deserves.
Walter Solchek.
The man is a goddamn legend.
He is.
And he deserves all the flowers we can give him right now.
Like in this movie, it's funny because we grew up with John Goodman. He's in Roseanne.
Right.
And this is not him.
Dude.
Total different dude.
This was a stark contrast. Like this was the total opposite.
Yeah, like when you watch this, you're like, this is a real guy.
Bro, that shit's in him.
Bro, and Steve Buscemi is Donnie.
Oh my God, I love
the
Steve
thing
Buscemi.
I like about this movie that made me laugh still to this day is how much John Goodman Walter shits on Donnie
the whole time.
Like anytime Donnie says anything, like he'll say a little random one-liner, and Walter would be like, "Shut the fuck up, Donnie."
I know. I love
it's
that.
so good, dude.
And you know who else is in this movie? John Turturro.
Kills it, bro. The Jesus, bro.
God, that dude is such a good actor.
He has such a short role.
I know.
A short part in this movie, and it's so killer. It's like no one that watches this doesn't remember the Jesus.
Oh, my God.
And I don't know if you know, but he went on to do a spin-off with that character.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's the only character from this movie that had a spin-off.
That's hilarious.
The Coen brothers were like, do it.
Nice. Such
Julianne Moore.
Yep.
Killed it.
Yep. Such a dope
Every
cast.
single person in this movie killed it.
It wasn't critically acclaimed at first, which how
I don't think they didn't. I don't think anyone understood what the fuck they were watching.
Right. This was art. Right here.
Yeah, this is like on the Pulp Fiction spectrum. Like someone watches this, they're like, What is this?
I could see that. A first pass on the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, like what? Nothing happens.
Might be weird.
There is no point to this movie.
Right. Like he's trying to get reimbursed for his run.
No, he just wants his fucking compensation. And the fact that they didn't even want his, like they came to his apartment for another Lebowski.
Right.
How fucking hilarious.
It's so well written, dude.
Dude. Flea.
Oh, he's one of the bad guys.
The bad guy.
Oh my God, I forgot.
They're nihilists, so they don't give it, like, you know what I mean? They're a whole group of nihilists.
Yeah, it received mixed reviews when it came out, which is wild. But now it
lives on in infamy.
Now people adore it.
Yeah.
You know, if I see it on television or I've watched it so many times, it's just it's like comfort food.
It really is.
You know what I mean?
It could be on in the background, and I would love it.
You know, all that being said, in 2014, it was selected for preservation by the Library of Congress
Fuck yeah.
as being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant.
It should be.
It just looks cool, man. Away from the awesome storyline and all of that, just the way it was shot in the film.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, it looks so good.
Yep.
So creative. I like that scene where he's spinning and he's going under the lady's legs.
Do you know that
He's holding the ball.
Did you know that they said the ladies all had fake hair under there?
Oh my God.
To fuck with Jeff Bridges.
That's hilarious.
Because he brought it, and I saw an interview where that's the one day he brought his child and his wife to set, and that they filmed that, and then his reaction to see that hair. Like, how funny is that?
Yeah, that's classic. But hey, here's some things you may not know about.
The first one I didn't like.
What is it?
He didn't bowl. Somebody goes, we don't even know how good the dude is at bowling.
That's true.
Because you see Donnie, you see Walter, like the dude never bowls.
Yeah.
But his whole persona is bowling.
Yeah, he's just a notorious slacker, bro.
Bro, like the biggest slacker, half-ass dude ever.
God, what a good character.
Like, I know we're off subject, but the funny part was when the guy comes up to get his rent.
Oh my God.
It's like, hey, dude, the rent's due. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't give a shit about that rent, bro.
No fucks given.
You gonna let me slide?
Hey, he's the personification of no fucks given.
100%. Dude, he's in every scene.
Dude is in every scene of the movie.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
Me neither. This type of shit's gonna make me go back and watch it for the 105th time.
For sure. Something else you might not know, fuck is said 292 times.
That's pretty awesome.
That's a lot of F-bombs.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's my type of movie right there.
Donnie gets a strike every single time it shows him on screen, except the last time, and then he dies.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie is a reference to Fargo, where Buscemi's character
never shuts up.
Never shuts up.
How funny is that they're using Fargo references in this movie?
That's great. I mean, I love
Fargo went on to have a multiple.
There's spin-offs and shows.
It's still living.
Yeah.
So which is crazy.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, it is. I like it that this hasn't. It stayed. Mm-hmm. They didn't try to fuck with this.
Oh my God, such a good point.
Like they didn't go like this. They could have done 100 dudes. You know what I mean?
They could have done Anchorman 2.
Yeah,
they could have given it the Anchorman 2
and
treatment.
Failed.
And I bet the Coen brothers are so.
They're like, don't touch this.
I bet they're so you just aware.
Yep, don't touch this.
Yeah,
this was gold.
Yeah, this is.
We caught lightning.
We can't redo this.
No.
Hopefully. All right, let's talk about some quotables.
Dude.
Market Zero.
Bro, when he goes over the line, bro, in a league game, Walter flips the fuck out.
Walter goes Walter.
Dog, he pulls a gun in a bowling match in a league.
And mint every piece of it.
Yeah.
Mint every piece of it. And he says, hey, man, market 8, Donnie. You know, I say market 8 all the time.
The market 0.
But I know the quote is market 0.
Yeah.
It's so
and
good.
he pulls that gun out and he's like, "You're entering a world of pain."
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, and the guy's like, "Dude, goddamn, man,
what the fuck?"
And he pulls that piece out and he goes, "League game, Smokey." That's all that's all he said to him. League game, Smokey. And that's honestly where the Jesus. The next round, he was like, comes over to him and says that. He goes, "You go flash in your piece on me."
I love that scene. Where
I'll take it away from you.
Where he licks the bowling ball.
The Jesus comes over and has like a rumor of him doing some weird shit. And that's when Walter looks over at the dude and's like, 8-year-olds, dude.
Yeah, but you're entering a world of pain. And then he goes to say something, a world of pain.
Bro.
Oh, man, that rug really tied the room together.
Did it not?
Yeah, did it not? And then Donnie, you're out of your element. I literally say to my kids once a week, "You're out of your element, Donnie."
Bro, 100%.
Donnie, you're out of your element. You know.
And every time Donnie's just trying to help.
That's right.
And Walter's just shitting on him.
Oh, he shits on him the whole time.
And you know that Sam Elliott's character is like the one telling the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He don't even know them really, and he just knows like of them. And it's almost like he's not real. You know what I mean? Like he's just some entity.
That's right.
That's over watching.
Or something he had heard about.
Yeah, like he's watching this. But he's there talking to him at the end. Like he's sitting at the bowling alley. And he's like, he's sitting there. He says something like, keep on keeping on, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the dude abides.
The dude abides. That's the last one we got
And
on
then
the
he sits
quotables.
out. What a crazy idea to have Sam Elliott, which is a fucking legend in like Cowboys, and he's sitting there in this weird ass movie. Like, who fucking picked these people, bro?
But yeah, the dude abides. All right, y'all. Time for the top 20 NES games, as decided by us.
This is Super Retro's top 20 games.
That's right. And you know how we decided on this list: nostalgia, replayability, the impact that it had on us.
As a child, and some stuff we still like today.
Number 20, Jackal, developed by Konami, released in October of 1988. This is a run and gun shooter. You're riding around in like an armored Jeep, rescuing prisoners of war and, getting them to a helicopter and they fly off. I love Jackal.
It's fun still.
Definitely one of my favorite games of all time. I would rank it a little higher than 20, but this is a collective list.
Yeah.
Number 19, RC Pro-Am, developed by Rare.
I know it.
Did you know this?
No.
I had no idea. This game was developed by Rare. Rare is an iconic video game developer.
Not known for racing.
Not known for racing. And, bro, I'm telling you, that is a really cool connection to know that Rare developed.
Still fun as hell to play today.
Came out in February of 1988. I say the best racing game of all time. Definitely the best racing game on the NES. A lot of people have some other opinions.
I think a lot of the racing games after that stole a lot from RC Pro-Am.
Yeah, you gotta collect power ups. You gotta watch for the oil spills and the puddles
And blowing up and messing with the cars behind you and in front of you.
Yeah, it was kind of like inspiration for Mario Kart.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, with being able to shoot rockets and stuff
100%.
like that and throw out the little whoopee cushions.
Yeah, it was groundbreaking.
All right, number 18, Ghosts and Goblins.
Classic game.
Classic game, beautiful game, developed by Capcom. And here's the thing, this was an early NES game.
Bro. It was one of the first games I had.
This game came out in November of 1986.
Yeah.
Hard as shit.
Hard.
No bones about it. I mean, it's universally understood that this game is hard as fuck.
It's one of those games, though, if I see the cover, I want to buy it, even though I know I have 4 of them.
Me too. I
swear to God.
Definitely. I want this game every time I see it. It just looks cool. The way it starts, you're in like a graveyard. I mean, come on, man.
It's a really cool game.
This one could be even higher for me as well. But we got it sitting pretty at 18. Number 17, Mega Man 2. This was developed by Capcom as well. Came out in June of 1989. Regarded as the best in the series. There's 6 Mega Man games on the NES, and this is easily regarded as the top tier when it comes to Mega Man. The soundtrack was amazing. It's often referred to as one of the best games of all time, which, we have it at number 17. I think that's because we weren't big Mega Man guys.
No.
We had to put it at 17.
We understand it.
Yeah.
It's success.
It's fun. I just don't like that you can't shoot up.
Is that the most for Super Nintendo or regular Nintendo? 6 games of one?
It has to be.
I mean, what else could
it has to be.
That's a lot.
That's a lot for sure. All right. Number 16, Rygar, developed by Tecmo. Came out July 10th, 1987. It's a side-scrolling action game. Rygar runs around Argul with his unique weapon, you should say. It's called a disc armor. He shoots it out on a chain, and it looks like a shield, and it comes back in, and he just boom, boom. I mean, dude, this is one of my favorite games of all time.
It was a classic game at the time.
Classic game. He has been commissioned and brought back from the dead by the people of Argul to rescue and restore peace and defeat Ligar and his army of creatures. There's some wild-ass creatures on this game. I even actually have one of them tattooed on the back of my leg.
Yeah, that's how much he likes it.
I love this shit. All right, number 15, RBI Baseball, developed by Namco.
Classic game.
Classic.
One of the first real good baseball games.
Where you could had the players' names.
Yeah, the actual in Major League Baseball players.
Yeah, and did we confirm or not if this was the first sports game with real player names?
I'm pretty sure.
It might just be.
Yeah.
Number 14, River City Ransom, released June 1990 by Technos Japan. Unique beat 'em up game. They got these little fat heads and these fat little bodies.
Yeah, it's awkward looking dudes.
And the fighting is just so fun, man. It's just a true beat 'em up game. It looks very similar to Double Dragon, which we'll talk about.
Same kind of game.
Same kind of game. You whenever you fight these guys, they throw up and they yell for their mom.
Yeah, that's funny.
And you collect money from them.
It's got a little RPG into it.
Yeah,
where they add where you can buy stuff.
Yeah, where you go into the city, you go into the town, and you're able to buy sushi. You're able to buy all kinds of crazy food.
Give you different abilities.
You can go get spa treatments. You can do all kinds of wild shit. It's just a fun, quirky little game.
Yeah,
you know.
That's why we have the CIB of it.
Yeah, got the complete box up there. All right, moving right along. 13, Double Dragon.
In the same vein.
Also developed by Technos Japan.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, you can really tell. Released June 24th of 1988. For me, the most iconic beat 'em up game of all time.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
Also, for me, out of all these games, we're only on number 13.
It could be higher.
We still got 12 to go. This is the most nostalgic game for me of all time. When I think of the NES, the first game I think about most of the time is Double Dragon.
Me too.
I don't know if it caught me in at just that right time in my life, but I think of Double Dragon probably more than I think of any other NES game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The music is awesome. Just want to throw that out there. And the artwork. We can't forget the artwork on some of these covers, and Double Dragon is just,
iconic.
Top tier. Number 12, Dusty Diamonds All-Star Softball, released July 1990.
Yeah, that's my jam.
Yeah, Will loves this game, and I love this game too.
It's just because it's like one of those games I rented. Yeah. Where I was like, what is this? And like you could pick your team, and each guy has a different attributes.
Yep.
So like you had to really learn each guy and what attribute helped your team. Like, if this guy fast, does this guy jump high? Does this guy throw hard?
Yeah.
So you had to no, this guy's shortstop, this guy's an outfielder. Mm-hmm. You're slow, you got to play first. Like you had to, and the whole point of the game was to play all the other players you don't pick. Mm-hmm. They go to another team.
Yeah.
And another team.
Yep.
So you play all those teams and try to beat all the other guys remaining.
Yeah.
Then you get to play these all-woman team at the end.
Yeah.
And they're hard as hell.
Yeah. What were they called?
I forgot, but it's still hard. You could play them right now and still get beat by them.
Number 11, Ninja Gaiden, developed by Tecmo, released March of 1989.
Another early game.
Another early game, and the artwork on this one was also amazing.
Yes, it was.
I love the artwork. Was it the first Ninja game? There may have been some Ninja game on Atari or something.
But nah.
But for me, this was the first Ninja game, and they nailed this shit. And what made this one so unique is this was one of the first games, if not the first, that had an actual, real backstory and a real story throughout the game.
Yeah.
A lot of characters had backstories, but it didn't play out throughout the game. This one had actual cutscenes between levels.
It made you feel like you were really in a story.
Yeah, between levels it had cutscenes and
it was hard as hell, and it's still hard today, and it still lives on today.
Yeah, and they're releasing new games, new
it's still
Ninja Gaiden games all the time. But yeah, really hard, but extremely fun. It's another one for me, like I was talking about Double Dragon being my most nostalgic game. This one is not far behind.
No, you're right.
This one is not far behind. All right, number 10.
The OG.
The OG. Super Mario Brothers, developed by Nintendo, released in October of 1985, y'all.
You talk about early. This game, I would say every game on this list owes this game something.
I'd say every game after it owed it something.
Because I don't think the world of Nintendo exists if this game wasn't what it was.
Right, and if it wasn't as successful as it was.
Yeah, and fun. For a kid.
I would listen to an argument that this was the best video game of all time, or the most important video game of all time. Most important,
100%.
I would listen to that argument, and I would also listen to the argument that it's the best NES game of all time. But for me, it falls number 10-ish. Yeah. We both kind of
and just because when it came out, they did as much as they could at the time. Mm-hmm. They didn't know what they could do.
They created a real masterpiece, and it just laid the groundwork for some amazing shit to come.
It was awesome, man.
All right, number 9, Metroid, our little weird, dark sci-fi fantasy lady, if you didn't know.
Yeah, and it's another early one that's super like nostalgic for me when I see the cover.
Yep, developed by Nintendo, came out August 15th of 1987, y'all.
When I see that cover at a flea market, I'm like,
I want it.
how much?
Yep. I already have it. I already have 4.
Yeah.
I could do one more.
That's a nice looking copy.
I could do one more.
The fact that it's from that old and it looks good, I want it.
And
The soundtrack was so awesome, dude. The sounds of the gun, the like everything in it sounded so good, man.
Yeah, and this was
the
first
missiles.
This was the first game with a female protagonist. This was the first game with a female protagonist. And you want to talk about? I know. I was just talking about Ninja Gaiden having a backstory and all that. This was before Metroid came out before Ninja Gaiden, but if you look into the story of Metroid,
It's awesome, dude.
it's one of the deepest, crazy, just wild story.
Man, you're saving the world.
I know it's crazy, but the difference is they didn't relay a lot of that in the game. You just knew you had to do these tasks.
But when something I liked about Metroid is when you beat it, they gave you a timer
To get out.
and it scares the shit out of you.
Yeah. Number 8, Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse, released September 1st, 1987. It's set in the year 1476. You gotta save Europe from Count Dracula and his army of monsters. That's an easy story, right?
Man, it's still the Castlevania title is still one of the most like nostalgic of the NES.
Yeah, and there's 3 of them, and there's another one where the artwork is just sick, you know what I mean? But
It is.
I love this game. I love the whole Castlevania series.
Yeah, I was like, I like 1 and 2 also.
I like all of them, and I often, we have like a top 5 wall back there, I just have Castlevania 1 up there just because there's so much nostalgia in that for me. Super cool game, going through tunnels and
It's fun.
through
And the weapons are cool.
hitting the candles off of the whip. Your whip gets
man.
longer, yeah, good. Awesome game. All right, number 7, Tecmo Super Bowl. Is this the best football game of all time? Here's the thing. Here's what I think. You think of your Maddens and all these football games that came after. They're complicated, all right? Tecmo Super Bowl is simplicity.
You made a football game back then with 2 buttons.
And it was awesome.
It was.
It captures everything that's awesome about the NES.
Yeah.
You had, like you said, you had 2 buttons. You had
real NFL players.
That's right.
You got to
8-bit
pick
graphics.
your real team.
Yep. Yeah, you got to be your favorite players.
Yep.
Bo Jackson.
And it was one of the first games where you could play a season-long game with your friends.
Yep. Bo Jackson. I just wanted to say some of these players. Bo Jackson, Barry Sanders, Joe Montana,
Jerry Rice.
Thurman
Thomas.
You
Jim
got
Kelly. He ain't even on the game, but he's on the game.
QB Bills.
Yeah, QB Bills.
That's all right.
Randall Cunningham.
Yeah. There's
Fast.
there's some other good ones, but who's the other running back with Bo Jackson?
Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen.
Yeah,
I love
Roger
Marcus
Craig. There's all
Allen.
kinds of good ones, man.
Yeah, Tecmo Super Bowl. I'm gonna say it. Best football game on the NES.
By far.
Best football game of all time. I don't care. I know the graphics look amazing. None of them are more fun than Tecmo Super Bowl.
Still fun today.
All right. Number 6, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Developed by Nintendo, released October 19th of 1987. This is one of those games, the replayability factor. You can pop this thing in right now, and it's just as fun as it was the first time, the second time, the third time you played it.
If you ain't played it in a while, you'll be a little off, but it comes back quick.
Yeah, and this is one of those games where people realize, oh, it's about the pattern. It's all about the pattern.
Every single fighter you have has a different pattern.
And if you learn that pattern, you can beat them with the exception of your boy.
If you don't, you won't.
Yeah. If you don't know that pattern, it's over.
Yeah, we still can't beat it.
And that's me. I don't know any of the patterns. I don't know how these super nerds do it because I can't figure it out.
King Hippo gets him.
I just don't have that math brain, I guess.
I can get pretty far, but I still can't beat Tyson.
And there's a code where you can go straight to Tyson.
Yep.
We were doing
What
that.
a game, though. Perfect game. Great concept. Like the whole idea of it was beautiful.
Yeah, it has iconic characters.
You're some
too.
little guy who can't,
Little Mac.
just starting out.
Lil Mac.
And you got to fight all these dudes and build up and get belts. Like, God, what a game.
Yeah, Glass Joe.
Man.
Bald Bull.
They start you out easy and make you feel like, I got this.
Piston Honda.
And then all of a sudden you turn pink and just fall down.
Yeah, good game.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Obviously, this is an arcade port, considering the name. But, man.
Fun.
Bro.
Absolute fun.
This is the second best 2-player game on the NES. This is one of the most fun games that you can play with a buddy.
Yeah. Instead of the first one, they was like, let's make this one fun.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
They let you be the turtle that you want to be,
Yep.
your favorite turtle. You got to play with your buddy. He could pick his favorite turtle and just fight.
That's right. And yeah, if you didn't have playing it one player, not so much, but if you had a buddy to play with, the shit was iconic.
You played all night.
I love this game.
Continue.
Easily my favorite Turtles game. I know people say the ones that came out afterwards are better. I disagree. This is the number 5 best NES game of all time.
Agreed.
Yeah, it embodies everything about the NES and 8-bit graphics that are awesome.
Yep.
Number 4, Super Mario Brothers 2, the black sheep of the Super Mario family. This was developed by Nintendo and released in September of 1988. And iconically featured on the first issue of Nintendo Power as far to promote it. It was a reskin of Doki Doki Panic, which we actually have another video on our page going over all of that. But yeah, it's a different game. That's why it kind of stands out like a sore thumb. However,
I love it.
We love it. It was like a perfect storm, a beautiful mistake. If this didn't happen, if the American market didn't reject, if Nintendo of America didn't reject the real Super Mario 2, we never would have had this beautiful,
crazy game with new characters that we still use today.
Specifically the Shy Guy.
Yeah.
If they didn't reskin Doki Doki Panic, we would not have the Shy Guy today. This is just a fun, weird, awesome game that, seriously, I think I've played Super Mario 2 more than 3 and 1 combined.
Yeah, I've had a really good time playing it when I was a kid and just playing with all the different characters. You got to use the princess and Toadstool.
Yep.
Like, I mean, what a fun game, man.
Yeah, and it's interesting how on the first one you play with Mario and Luigi, Super Mario 2, you get to play with those 4 characters you just mentioned. And then when you go back to Super Mario 3, you can only choose the 2 again.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, Contra. February 2nd, 1988 is when it was released. This right here is the best 2-player game of all time. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, not even a question.
I mean, it's so awesome. It's like Rambo meets Alien. You're like these dudes.
And you're just blasting.
Feels like you're in Vietnam and you just have aliens running around. You're just blasting.
There couldn't be more enemies coming. You're just killing everything. You get new weapons, new gun. Like, just so many different ways to shoot the gun.
You want to talk about a respawn nightmare, bro. They respawned until you move. You can stay in the same spot. They just keep coming.
And the sounds of, like, dying and the shooting. Everything just so awesome.
I love it. Yeah, when you die, it sounds like a laser.
Yeah, and then the gun.
Yeah. And then obviously we have to mention the iconic. I think this is the cheat code that every person that had an NES remembers.
Bro, there's T-shirts with it.
I know.
Up, down, left, right. B-A, start or select start.
If you got 2-player.
2-player.
Yeah, bro, it's like music to my
ears.
ears.
And to be honest, like, God damn, that was a hard game without that code.
Oh my God, you didn't have the code. You didn't have the 30-minute cheat code, and you try to beat the game with 30? Nah, hell no.
Like, that was an experience.
Yeah, not
like
over
trying
here.
to get good enough to beat the game with 3 men.
Mm-hmm. Nah.
But when you give me 30, I'm having fun.
Yeah, that's right.
With my buddy. He's got 30, I've got 30. Yeah. We're beating this.
That's right. So Contra, number 3 NES game
100%.
of all time for us.
Agreed.
Number 2, The Legend of Zelda.
Man.
Developed by Nintendo, released August 22nd of 1987, y'all.
The gold beautiful cartridge.
The gold joint. And 6.5 million copies, and kicked off an iconic franchise.
Still going today.
That is almost, if not is, as recognizable as the Super Mario Brothers franchise.
Yep.
I mean, bro.
Still the #1 game on Switch.
Yeah, think about
Zeldas.
that. Think about that. Nintendo developed Super Mario. Not only did they develop the NES, they developed Super Mario Brothers and Zelda. Like,
Two
wow.
huge franchises.
Iconic
that
franchises.
have never died.
Never, bro. And are as strong today as they ever were.
100%.
You know?
You could put a statue of Zelda out, or Link, and everyone's going to know
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah. And, but this game,
So fun.
such a good game.
So hard. So amazing. Such a adventure as a kid.
That's a great way to describe it. It's just an adventure.
It's a fucking adventure into a world you've never known.
Yeah. And like we were saying, we didn't have the internet.
No.
We just went at it and explored for days and weeks and months on end.
Like, you would hear stories about what to do, or where is it?
Yep.
They didn't even tell you where the levels were.
Yeah. So number
Good
2,
luck.
The Legend of Zelda, y'all.
Beautiful game.
And if you wanted to make it number 1, we'd agree with you.
100%.
We'd listen to your argument and be like, yeah, I understand. All right, so number 1 NES game
I think everyone knows.
of all time. If we haven't covered it by now, you know which one it is. And yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, y'all. Super Mario Brothers 3.
Man, I think it was like the culmination of all what an NES could do.
Exactly. And when this was released February 12th of 1990, and this thing sold 17 million copies.
They killed it with it, knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, and what you just said was true. Like this, when you saw this, you saw not only did you see an amazing game, which is the best NES game of all time, but what you saw was the future.
Yeah, and I was thinking earlier, I didn't say it, but like, can you believe that Mario 1 and Mario 3 are on the same system?
Yeah, no.
They don't look like it. Like,
No, they really don't.
Like, this is such a polished, amazing game.
Yeah.
And look back at 1, they're like, what the fuck?
Dude, the technology was advancing so quick.
Yeah.
Because if you look at that, so
I'm flying around.
Yeah, so Super Mario Brothers 1 was released in 1985. In 5 years, they made Super Mario 3.
Not even close to the same game.
Bro, are you serious?
Like, there's so much shit you could do in that you didn't even think of when Mario 1.
Yeah, the technology was just advancing at such a rate. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Super Mario 3.
Mario 3 let you know that Nintendo wasn't stopping.
Yeah, you were like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this game looks amazing. And after that, I feel like there's a clear cutoff, or just a clear difference between NES games in the 80s and NES games in the 90s as far as the way they look.
Oh, yeah, it was a different world.
The gameplay was still there on a lot of them, but the way they look, when Super Mario 3 dropped, you're like, oh shit's about to change, and It did. You had stuff like Battletoads come out, and Battletoads easily could have passed for a Super Nintendo game.
Yep.
There was plenty of games after that could have passed for Super Nintendo games.
And like Mario 3 could have been a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah, and you'd just been like, yeah, that works.
That's when you knew the new system was going to be crazy.
That's right. So y'all, there's our top 20 list, super retro top 20 NES games of all time.
I'm sure you guys got some ones that you're throwing in that list, but that was what we picked.
This is what we put together after much collaboration. This is what we ended up with. So leave some of yours in the comments. You don't have to leave 20.
Yeah.
Just leave a few that we left out, or leave your top 5 or something, because we want to know.
And shit on ours.
All right, Will, you heard about this NBA Jam Bulls glitch?
I've read some stuff about it, but I don't really know about it.
Okay. So you know how in the 80s and 90s the rivalry between the Bulls and the Pistons, I don't think there was a bigger rivalry.
No, the Pistons beat the hell out of the Bulls.
These dudes were trying to kill each other all the time.
They punked the Bulls out to make the Bulls what they turned into.
That's right.
They were the bully.
Yeah,
that
they
made
were
the Bulls.
bullies. They were like bullies. Well, listen to this story. So the game NBA Jam. If you're playing the Bulls versus the Pistons on NBA Jam, and after halftime it's a close game, or even if it's not a close game, if the Bulls are winning, they'll start to fall apart. They'll start missing threes. They'll start missing dunks. They'll start turning the ball over.
That's bullshit.
Your computer helper guy will start making mistakes, and the Pistons will start hitting every shot. And this has been suspected for years that it was written into the code that they programmed the game to be this way. And it was speculation, but if you play the Bulls versus the Pistons and see how it works out for you. There were some computer models that ran it a bunch, and like 9 times out of 10, the Bulls would lose.
That's fucked up.
And it's because the developer of the game, a designer and programmer of NBA Jam named Mark Turmel, was a super Detroit Piston fan and absolutely hated the Bulls.
He was like, they're not beating me.
Yeah. He confirmed in a 2008 ESPN interview that he did, in fact, write this into the code.
That's not right.
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah. And that, you know what? That's what he gets because the Bulls became what they became.
That's right.
That's what you get, bro.
That's right. And this came out at the same time all that was happening.
That's what I'm saying. You got what you deserve. Because the Pistons are trash and the Bulls are a dynasty, or became a dynasty.
That's right. So, yeah, isn't that fucked up? Like, the dude cared that much that he, didn't tell anybody.
He took it into his own hands.
He didn't tell anybody. But it had been suspected because, people played the hell out of the game. The game's awesome.
That's funny, man.
This game is awesome. But, when we do have a tournament, we might want to tell people, don't do Bulls versus the Pistons.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody would be the Bulls anyway because you can't play with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, they ruined that right there.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. Mark T said, nah, these Bulls, not on my game.
Fuck the Bulls.
Fuck the Bulls.
All right, who remembers the show Double Dare on Nickelodeon?
Mark Summers hosted it. I remember Mark Summers.
Yeah. He was like
that guy is so recognizable.
He was like an 80s icon.
Yeah, for sure.
Got famous as a host back when they did,
He really did. And he hosted several different shows on Nickelodeon. Like, he was a Nickelodeon personality.
Yeah, that's when, like, if you were a good host, you could have a career.
Yeah. This show ran from 1986 to 1993 and had 482 episodes.
That's a good run, bro.
Bro, that is a lot of work, is what I hear.
And, like, it was in the, like, same vein of, like, how Nickelodeon was so, like, edgy with their, like, remember when they just dumped slime on you and shit?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was in that vein of just disgusting.
Yeah, yep.
Like, you would see stuff in that show and you'd be like, oh, my God.
Yeah, they did some wild shit on there.
Like, the obstacle course at the end. Like, God damn, dude. Like, if you won that show, like, you look like you went to battle.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? You went to war.
Yeah, and like the families would go on there.
Yeah.
It was like a family.
Yeah. Or just 2 people. Like they would do groups or a couple people. But like that's what I'm saying. Like by the end of that show, like if you won or lost, you went to war.
Absolutely.
You looked like shit. Had everything all over you. You had slime on you. You had yuck on you. You had like whipped cream. Mm-hmm. Like who knows what you were going through? Like you'd have to go through like a nose. Like a nostril or like a hand or
I remember that.
Like go down slides and go down like yucky ass like big pools of slime. Like
I remember the big nose.
Yeah, like you'd had to do stuff like you would never imagine. Like the set designer for that was awesome.
That's what I'm saying. 482 episodes.
They had to get creative.
Of that shit. Like there was a ton of work that went into that.
And it got really big.
Yeah, and Nickelodeon had some dope shows too. They had like some dope game shows.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think Double Dare might. If you had to look it up, I'm pretty sure it might have been the most successful Nickelodeon show at the time.
I think it might have been the most successful game show.
Yeah,
but maybe you're right. I don't know. We'll
it got huge.
Yeah, it did get huge.
Like the amount of views back then, like it was hard to get that big.
Yeah, I read something about 1 million viewers or something.
Like it was up there because kids back then,
1 million TVs tuned in at the same time watching it. That's huge
back then.
Yeah, that's
like,
huge.
Because I mean, it was a weird. Like our parents and stuff didn't understand it. You know what I mean? So like when this came out, this was geared towards our generation.
Yeah.
So Double Dare, I mean, who doesn't remember that?
Yeah, Double Dare was awesome. Mark Summers was, shout out Mark Summers, man.
What a good show.
All right, y'all. You remember your first car?
Who doesn't?
You remember your first car? What'd you have?
Get ready.
What was it?
A 1988 Nissan Maxima.
Ooh.
With the little tape deck equalizer.
Yeah, what color was it?
Metallic gray.
Metallic gray.
The gray that like inside gets, when it looks dirty, it's never coming back to clean.
Yeah.
Looks like yellowish gray.
Yeah.
But like the equalizer set it off, bro. It looked like the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where
Some of those tape decks, boy.
I could sit there and just do everything.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just 2 or 3. I had like 10 fucking buttons that would go.
Oh, you talking about the sliders?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I had 10 sliders on that motherfucker.
Oh, you had an equalizer built in the dash.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
it looked
awesome.
like I was driving in the future.
Yeah.
And I had like remember a Big Balls Sports. Do you remember that? People out there will. It's like a stupid ass T-shirt type company that.
Oh, I know what that is.
And I had it a little sticker on the back of my Nissan Maxima.
Yeah,
so
like
stupid.
it was also like Big Johnson or something.
Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah, I
so
know.
stupid.
Yeah, I had a 1993 sky blue Chrysler New Yorker.
Damn,
Bro, I thought I was the shit.
you were balling.
This right here was the poor man's Cadillac, though. I had them 6x9s banging at all times. The 6x9s in them older cars hit way different than the 6x9s in cars today.
Yeah, my Nissan had a nice system,
That's what I'm saying.
but I played that out so bad that it was rattling by the time
Yep.
I had to get a new car.
Only upgrade I made was I went and got that CD player that had that removable face that had them graphics dancing across.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
yeah.
Had the graphics dancing across that CD face, and it
Pretty
looked
sure
like
that's the first car I had an actual CD. I changed the tape out for a CD player.
that's what I did with my own money. Like, you know, I got me a job and was like, I'm gonna save my money up and get a CD player.
Went to Circuit City.
Went to Circus City and got my little, you know, did graphics on the front of it. That shit
Bro.
looked like the future.
Yeah, how fucked up is it that technology was so short lived?
I know.
Like, and back then there was nothing more valuable than a CD player in a car.
I know.
Nothing.
I know.
That was the most stolen thing in the world.
Bro, yeah, and on that subject, you'd have that big book of CDs.
Bro.
That massive book
Everyone.
of CDs.
Like, you could tell a lot about a person.
I like that, Will. You can tell a lot about a person
Yeah.
by what's in their CD booklet.
Like, how he listens to Bob Marley, Too Short,
I mean,
AC/DC.
each flip,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay.
And you would always organize it by rock
Genres.
rap. Yeah.
Yeah. And there'd be the mix CDs
Oh,
everywhere.
bro, I had all
just
them.
Handwriting.
I had my
all over.
LimeWire in there.
Mm-hmm.
My Airwalk Studio CD.
Yeah, it went from the little CD thing on the visor to like the booklet.
Dude, you wasn't playing around.
The heavy ass booklet. And you know, I saw a video of people talking about how people are so distracted today in their cars by their phones. Well, bro, here I am
Had to change it.
riding down the expressway, big CD booklet
Bro.
in my lap, just
Only so many songs on that one CD.
flipping,
Like, you had to change it.
just flipping, popping the one out, putting it in. You want to talk about distracted? That was distracted.
You know, the future was when they came out with that like 6-disc CD changer.
Oh, it changed the game.
Like, bro, if I could put 6, I got 6 lined up. I got
Yep.
6 bullets ready.
Yep.
Like, I got 6 CDs that will play right after another.
And then
That's a road trip.
Yeah, and then there was that one you never took out.
Yeah.
You know, you had
100%.
You had the mainstay in there. You know, that one CD that was the forever bop that you were not taking out.
That was stuff that made your like a first car like special. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like before then, back before it was just tapes, bro. You were just sitting doing the same thing with tapes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
had
for
a
sure.
little box
That's
that
right.
was zipped up that you had
Yep.
tapes sitting there.
Well, you know, for the longest time I had before I was able to get the CD player, for the longest time I had the tape that you would put into your tape player, and then it had a cord coming out of it that plugged into like a
Discman.
a portable Discman.
Yep.
That was my CD player for the longest.
Yeah, man. That was way before.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
awesome. Your first car was something special, man.
Let us know
What's your first car?
what's your all's first car. 1993 Chrysler New Yorker for me, and we called it the Chrysler with the dent because the whole fender was just destroyed,
Oh yeah.
and I never got it fixed.
You
I'm
definitely
not getting
reckon
it
your
fixed.
first car, man.
All right, y'all, that's the show for today. Thanks for tuning in as always.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
this was a good one. We got plenty more coming up. Make sure you follow our TikTok page. Make sure you follow our Instagram page. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is growing. Make sure, you know, and if you want to listen to the long form, Spotify, Apple Podcast, spread the word for us. We see that the audio podcast is rapidly growing, which is
Share it.
so awesome.
Share it shit everywhere.
You know,
We need some people to share it on every platform.
You guys are definitely motivating us to keep going and keep doing this. If you want to email the show and contribute to the show in any way, superretropod@gmail.com. And I believe that's
check
really
the website out too.
Yeah, check our website out, superretropod.com.
Yeah, and we're gonna.
What did I say on the email? Email superretropod@gmail.com.
Yeah. I think you said the website first.
And then the website is superretropod.com. There's not much up there right now,
but we're also get ready. Stay tuned for details on the next Super Retro tournament we're doing.
Yep.
Probably NBA jams, and it's probably looking for end of June, I'd say.
Something like that, yeah.
But we might, you know,
maybe even sooner.
Yeah, like you said, we might.
Oh no, I think it's more the end of May.
What is? No, the finals is.
I looked it up today.
Oh no, it's
June. It's the beginning of June.
June 1st.
Yeah. So we'll probably do
the
May.
weekend.
Yeah. Okay, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in as always, and be safe out there and all that.
Keep it retro.
Yeah, keep it retro and all that shit. Peace.